Picture this. The Usos aren't on the stage. They're already behind you, walking through the crowd like they own the building. And in that moment, WWE quietly told us exactly where the Bloodline story is heading next. This wasn't just a cool entrance. This was a message. Jey Uso flat out tells us they're not fighting tonight. No chaos, no surprise brawl, just confidence. Next week, Alpha Academy. Tag titles on the line. That calm energy matters, because champions who feel threatened don't delay fights. Champions who feel untouchable do. But then Jey Uso changes the temperature completely. He doesn't talk about Gable. He doesn't talk about Otis. He looks at the crowd and demands acknowledgement for Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. That wasn't random. That was loyalty being tested in real time. Here's the part nobody is saying out loud. Jey didn't say we acknowledge Roman. He said you acknowledge Roman. Subtle difference, massive implications. Jimmy is focused on keeping gold. Jey is focused on keeping the bloodline intact. And those two goals are not always the same thing. Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble puts a clock on everyone connected to him. Titles, alliances, even family. The Usos walking to the concourse instead of the ring felt symbolic. They're still part of the show, but they're not fully in the spotlight anymore. Roman is. Now, let's talk Alpha Academy. On paper, this feels like a safe defense. But WWE loves using teams like Alpha Academy to expose cracks, not win titles. Gable doesn't need to beat the Usos to win. He just needs to make them argue. One mistag, one selfish moment, one look from Jey when Jimmy doesn't listen. And here's a rumor floating around that I actually buy. There's quiet talk that the tag title match next week isn't about Alpha Academy at all. It's about what happens after. A stare down, a message, maybe even Roman reminding the Usos who the main character really is. Because let's be honest, when Jey asks for acknowledgement, it doesn't sound confident anymore. It sounds forced. And forced loyalty is how the bloodline eventually collapses. WWE has always thrived on moments that feel small until they explode later. This was one of those moments. No punches, no promos in the ring, just positioning. The camera caught fans reacting. Phones up, confusion mixed with excitement. That's intentional. When wrestling slows down like this, it's because the company wants you thinking, arguing, and picking sides before anything actually happens. It quietly builds anticipation, tension, and speculation, the exact ingredients that turn ordinary segments into long-term stories people remember weeks later, when everything finally explodes on television in dramatic fashion for fans. So I'll throw this to you. Are the Usos still united, or are we watching the first cracks form right in front of us? Drop your take below, because the story is moving fast. This is no Disqualified, where wrestling stories don't need rules to get real.